Give some insight to your mindset and your momentum, because you're on a 4-fight win streak, and it seems like every time we see you, you get better and better, and your striking is way more crisp.
Yeah, that's my mindset, just to get better between every fight. And I'm working with such a great team right now. Like they've really invested a lot in me, and so I invest a lot back in them. I spend all my time training. Sometimes like people ask about like, what shows do you watch? What other hobbies do you have? And it's like, none. I literally spend all my time training, eating, or recovering.
Have you been working on your ground game? Because last time you got the submission, we see you put some hands on people, but you choked her out last time.
Yeah, it was good to get a submission on my record. I'm an extremely well-rounded fighter. I'm good anywhere the fight goes, and I'm really proud of that. There's not really any holes in my game. No matter what you're good at, you're gonna have a hard time doing what you're good at when you fight me, no matter what you're good at.
Do you take it personal and see like people, you get better, people start, no, she's not ready for the big stage, that people keep underestimating you? Does that kind of get you going?
I don't think anybody has said that about me in a long time. I've been on a couple of really big pay-per-views now, and I think people are starting to take notice that I'm a really good fighter. I'm one of the best in the world. And I don't think anybody has said that about me in a long time. If they have, then they're a hater. Like, it's not, I wouldn't even take it personal, because it's like, they just don't know what they're looking at.
And what challenges does Joanne possess that's going to be difficult to deal with her being another elite best fighter in that division?
JoJo's good at a lot of stuff. She keeps a good high pace. She throws a lot of kicks really well, especially like good long straight kicks, like her teeps and stuff. So stuff like that is going to be a bit of a challenge, but we've trained hard for it. I think she's going to try to clinch, and I love the clinch. So I'm really actually very excited to see what this fight looks like in the clinch.
Final question for me, how big a deal is to come out the chute and set that tone? Because we've seen her, when she gets onto a slow start, not be the fight up to her capability. We've also seen her get up to a fast start and dictate the pace of the whole fight. So how big a deal is that first round to come up in there and bust in the face and kind of set that tone?
I think almost all fights that's important. There's not a lot of fights that I would go into where it's like, the first round we'll just kind of give away. You know what I mean? Like, it's only a 3-round fight, and so you only have 15 minutes. It's really actually not that long, and if you let the first 3 or 4 slip by, then you're playing catch up. So I think in almost all fights it's important to get started right away.
Lauren, back here. You mentioned kind of the haters right there, and are you just feeling disrespected by the odds a little bit because they have her slightly favored right now?
No, I don't take any of that personally. Like, I love winning people money. So people always message me after I fight. They're like, you won me a bunch of money. I'm like, I know, brother. I want a bunch of money too.
Definitely a good feeling. And you've had such a great career to this point. You were the first Invicta Bantamweight champion. People, I think, forget about that. But fought so many good people. Has there been a point for you that you would say has been the biggest learning experience though so far?
I've had a couple. I think the 2 that really stand out in my mind is that, one, The Ultimate Fighter was a really big learning experience for me. I really learned about the importance of staying positive and staying in the moment. And, really practicing those concepts really increased my fight IQ. It's made my entire life better, actually, inside and outside the ring. And so as hard of a time as that was for me, and as humiliated as I felt on The Ultimate Fighter, it actually really was a really big turning point in my career. The other thing I think that I really changed, or that was a big turning point for me, I guess, was when I decided that, I have 4 losses in my career. My record is 14-4, and there was a time where people were like, oh, she's at the end of her career, she's kind of on a downhill slope. And I just decided, like, to myself, kind of, that it wasn't. It was like, I've always failed forward, I've always failed trying big things. I've always failed on big stages, and those aren't really failures. And I think when I decided that, my whole mindset about my own career changed. And then when my mindset started to change, it changed the mindsets of the people around me,